Imagine this. You're lying on a bed of synthetic clouds, a world where algorithms anticipate your cravings before you feel them, where every interaction is frictionless, every discomfort medicated away. Your body is safe, your mind is numb. Then, one midnight, you startle awake with a primal scream stuck in your throat. You try to name what's wrong, but there's no language for it in this polished utopia. The horror isn't that something hurts, the horror is that nothing does. Nietzsche saw this coming 150 years ago. In the twilight of the 19th century, he penned his most chilling prophecy: the last men, the most contemptible creatures, have invented happiness. They blink, they no longer love or hate. We have invented happiness, say the last men, and they blink. Here's the uncomfortable truth they never taught you in school. Human beings are not designed for paradise. We thrive on resistance. Our bones need gravity. Our psyches need problems to solve. Our souls need something to push against. Yet everywhere, modernity whispers the opposite. Avoid struggle. Optimize pleasure. Curate comfort. But what if this is the grandest lie ever sold? Consider, depression rates are highest in wealthy nations. WHO data. The most privileged generations report unprecedented anxiety. Ancient Stoics warned luxury softens the mind, yet we chase it like salvation. This isn't coincidence, it's causality. So let me ask you, when was the last time you did something that terrified you? Not for money or fame, but simply to feel the electric aliveness of being uncomfortably human. The answer might reveal more about your spiritual vitality than any bank statement ever could. Because here's what Nietzsche knew that we've forgotten. Comfort doesn't preserve life, it mummifies it. And the path back to aliveness begins where your safety ends. The modern world has perfected the art of anesthesia. We've engineered the existence where discomfort is medicated before it can be felt. Boredom is outlawed by infinite scrolling. Uncertainty is algorithmically erased by predictive text, but beneath this sanitized surface, something primal is suffocating. Nietzsche's diagnosis, the last man syndrome. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche warns of the last man, a creature who has tamed life into bland safety. No shepherd and one herd. Everybody wants the same. Everybody is the same. Whoever feels different goes voluntarily into the madhouse. This isn't prophecy, it's autopsy. Observe the atrophy of ambition. Studies show lottery winners often become depressed. Without struggle, achievement loses meaning. The paradox of choice. Barry Schwartz's research proves too many options create paralysis, not freedom. Digital pacifiers. Dopamine hits from likes replace the hard-won joy of creating the biological betrayal. Our bodies are evolutionary relics screaming against comfort. The pain paradox. Pain receptors exist not to torture us, but to signal growth opportunities. Muscle tears rebuild stronger. Chronic pain studies show avoidance worsens suffering, exactly like emotional resistance stress. As nutrient hormesis research proves, low-dose stressors, fasting, cold exposure, extend lifespan. The immune system weakens in sterile environments. Children with pets get fewer allergies. The comfort-obesity link. Just as muscles atrophy without use, the will atrophies without challenge. MRI scans reveal the prefrontal cortex shrinks in risk-averse individuals. Philosophical roots. From Schopenhauer to Skinner. Schopenhauer's will to life. The fundamental human drive isn't happiness, it's striving to remove obstacles, and the will turns inward in self-destruction. See Celebrity Meltdowns. Skinner's box of modernity. Our environment has become a behaviorist cage of predictable rewards. Variable rewards. Social media, dating apps create addiction, not fulfillment. The Huxleyan warning. Unlike Orwell's boot-on-face dystopia, Huxley foresaw we'd be destroyed by what we love. Infinite distractions now prevent any confrontation with existential questions. the spiritual malnutrition. Comfort culture produces the untested man, Jordan Peterson's critique of unearned confidence. The uninitiated woman, lacking rites of passage beyond consumer milestones. The unlived life, Jung's warning about dying with potential still inside. Historical cases prove Nietzsche right. Rome collapsed when bread and circuses replaced civic virtue. The Dutch polder model of excessive consensus bred cultural stagnation, the fork in the road. Here's what they don't tell you about comfort. It doesn't feel like decay in the moment. It feels like winning. Until one day you wake up, unable to tolerate criticism, terrified of any conflict, secretly envying those who still have something to fight for. This is the hidden tax of perpetual ease. It doesn't just make you weak, it makes you forget you were ever strong. But there's a way back, through what Nietzsche called the discipline of suffering. The first sip of comfort tastes like honey. The 100th tastes like ashes. What begins as reasonable self-care metastasizes into something far darker, a life where disagreements are avoided rather than resolved. Relationships exist in transactional harmony. Art becomes content, philosophy becomes self-help, and passion becomes hobby. This is the slow death Nietzsche warned about, not with a bang, but with a yawn. The relationship paradox. Modern love suffers from terminal comfort, conflict avoidance as emotional malpractice. Gottman Institute research shows couples who never argue have higher divorce rates. Like immune systems, relationships need periodic stresses to strengthen the dating apocalypse. Apps create the illusion of infinite options, making commitment feel like settling. Soft ghosting replaces clean breakups. We've lost the courage to endure awkwardness, friendship as mutual affirmation. Ancient cultures valued the truth-teller friend, Socrates' daemon. Modern friendships often degenerate into mutual validation pacts. The creativity crisis. Comfort is kryptonite to genius. The adversity advantage. A study of Nobel laureates found 85% experienced significant trauma. Beethoven composed his greatest works while deaf, the curse of infinite tools. Digital artists report blank canvas syndrome with unlimited brushes. Constraints breed innovation. See Shakespeare's iambic pentameter. The death of dangerous ideas. Safe spaces protect feelings but murder intellectual growth. Every philosophical revolution began as heresy. Cultural consequences. History's warning signs are everywhere. The Rome parallel pre-collapse. Rome saw bread and circuses replacing civic duty, gladiator games as sanitized pseudo-struggle compared to endless streaming replacing cultural production, contact sports as our bloodless gladiatorial substitute. The masculinity-femininity crisis. Young men initiate 60% fewer fights than 1990, CDC data. Cosmetic surgery replaces rites of passage for women. Jordan Peterson, untested men become dangerous boys. Spiritual sterility. Comfortable religions focus on self-help rather than transcendence. Psychedelic research shows trauma integration often precedes mystical experiences. The neurological toll fMRI scans reveal the challenge gap. Subjects solving hard problems show prefrontal cortex expansion. Those choosing easy tasks exhibit neural atrophy, dopamine dysregulation, intermittent rewards. Social media destroy patience for deep work. ADHD rates correlate with decreased tolerance for boredom. The stress deprivation effect. Controlled stress boosts BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Anxiety disorders increase in overprotected children. The fork in the road. This isn't about romanticizing suffering. It's about recognizing that the avoidance of discomfort has become more debilitating than discomfort itself. We've created a world where Students demand trigger warnings for classic literature. Employees sue over hostile work environments, i.e., having a demanding boss. Adults need safe spaces from political disagreement. Nietzsche's warning echoes louder than ever. Man is the cruelest animal. At tragedies, bullfights, and crucifixions, he has so far felt best on earth. And when he invented hell for himself, behold, that was his heaven on earth. We haven't eliminated suffering, we've just made it chronic rather than acute. But there is a way out, a radical reclamation of struggle. The modern world has sold you a counterfeit paradise, a gilded cage where the doors are unlocked, but no one dares leave. Nietzsche's solution: become the earthquake that shatters your own prison. This is not about mere self-improvement. This is philosophical warfare against the cult of comfort. Nietzsche's threefold prescription. 1. Live dangerously, the antidote to complacency. The original German carries more weight. Lebensgefahr. Life danger, not recklessness but strategic tension. Take the cold shower before checking your phone. Have the uncomfortable conversation today, not tomorrow. Travel alone to places where you don't speak the language. Case study: Norwegian Friluftsliv, open-air life, mandates exposing children to calculated risks. Result: 50% lower childhood anxiety rates than overprotected cultures. 2. Amor fati, love of fate. Nietzsche's ultimate hack for alchemizing suffering. My formula for greatness is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different. Practice. When stuck in traffic, this is exactly where I need to be. When betrayed, what strength is this revealing in me? When sick, what deeper listening does this force? Psychological payoff. University of Tokyo studies show fate acceptance practitioners report 37% higher life satisfaction. 3. The Übermensch protocol. Not the Ayn Rand caricature, but the self-surpasser. Daily ask: what comfort did I deny myself today? Weekly challenge: do something that would make your softer self gasp. Monthly ordeal: a 24-hour fast, silent retreat, or solo wilderness night. Biological basis: intermittent stress triggers FOXO3 longevity genes. University of Hawaii research. The Modern Ascetics Toolkit. 1. Digital fasting. Try monk mornings, no screens until noon, Luddite Sundays. Analog only, why it works. Restores attention span. MIT study shows 3-day digital detox resets focus. 2. Voluntary discomfort. Evidence-backed practices. Cold exposure. Wim Hof method reduces inflammation markers by 28%. Sleep floor camping. Japanese samurai tradition boosts circadian resilience. Barefoot walking. Harvard studies show improved posture and grounding. 3. Conflict cultivation. Healthy tension building. Debate clubs with ideological opponents. Brutal feedback Fridays with trusted peers. Reading material that intellectually disgusts you. Historical precedent. Ancient Greek symposiums required drinking wine while debating philosophy. Conscious uncoupling of pleasure and agreement. Case studies in radical rejection of comfort. The Stoic. CEO Ryan Holiday's Stillness is the Key applied. 5 a.m. workouts in freezing garage. Handwriting first drafts of books. Result: 3. NYT bestsellers before age 35. The warrior monk's Shaolin temple initiates: sleep on wooden boards for years, train through broken bones. Outcome: superhuman pain, tolerance and focus. The Arctic philosopher Norwegian explorer Erling Kagge, 50-day solo South Pole trek with no radio. Regular silence retreats in isolation tanks. Discovery: boredom is the gateway to original thought. The fork in the road. This is where you choose. Will you continue being a passive consumer of pre-packaged experiences, your edges slowly rounded by the endless polishing of convenience? Or will you become the voluntary barbarian, the one who storms the gates of their own gilded cage? Nietzsche's words ring across the centuries. The secret for harvesting from existence the greatest fruitfulness and greatest enjoyment is to live dangerously. But the ultimate revelation, the one that recontextualizes everything, comes next. Here lies the forbidden epiphany, the one that shatters the illusion of comfort as virtue. What you call happiness is often just anesthesia. What you fear as suffering is the only path to awakening. Nietzsche didn't just predict this, he lived it. In his final decade, plagued by migraines and near blindness, he wrote his most brilliant works in bursts between agony. His prescription wasn't masochism but alchemy. You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. The comfort heroine paradox. Modern neuroscience reveals an uncomfortable truth. Pleasure and pain share neural pathways. University of California studies. Endless comfort dysregulates opioid receptors, making mild discomfort feel unbearable. The brain literally shrinks when deprived of challenges. Harvard MRI studies on overprotected youth. This isn't philosophy, it's physiology. We've engineered a world where elevators spare us stair climbing. Atrophy, GPS eliminates spatial reasoning. Hippocampus shrinkage, dating apps prevent courtship failures, emotional stunting, civilizational suicide. Historian Arnold Toynbee's law holds true. Civilizations die by suicide, not murder. The pattern is unmistakable. Athens collapsed when symposiums turned from philosophical debates to drinking contests. Rome fell when bread and circuses replaced civic duty. The Ottoman Empire ossified when the Sultanate banned printing presses to preserve tradition. Now observe modernity. Education systems that prioritize safety over intellectual rigor. Economic models that reward short-term comfort over long-term resilience. Political discourse where harm reduction stifles necessary conflict. We aren't facing collapse, we're orchestrating it. The ecstatic alternative. Nietzsche's Zarathustra proclaims, I say unto you, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. This is no metaphor. Ecstatic traditions across cultures harness discomfort for transcendence. Sufi, whirling dervishes induce dizziness to break egoic perception. Native American vision quests use fasting and isolation to prompt revelation. Buddhist Tantra transforms desire into spiritual fuel rather than suppressing it. Modern equivalents exist. Flow states require challenge skill balance. Csikszentmihalyi's research, psychedelic therapy uses temporary ego dissolution to heal trauma. Extreme athletes report mystical experiences during endurance crises. The eternal recurrence, litmus test. Nietzsche's ultimate thought experiment. What if someday or night a demon were to steal into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, this life as you now live it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon who spoke thus? Or have you once experienced a tremendous moment when you would have answered him, you are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine? Ask yourself now, could you bear to relive your comfortable life eternally? If the answer isn't an ecstatic yes, you already know what must change. The final invitation, at the edge of all understanding, stands this truth. The opposite of happiness isn't sadness, it's numbness. The opposite of life isn't death, it's safety. The opposite of growth isn't failure, it's comfort. You stand now at the precipice between two destinies, the last man's fate, a life of blinking contentment, relationships without depth, death having never truly lived, the overhuman's ascent, a life burned bright with tension. Love that terrifies with its intensity, death having roared your yes to existence. Nietzsche's words echo through time. Become who you are, not through ease, not through safety, but through the sacred friction that forges souls. The demon of eternal recurrence whispers its question one final time. How will you answer?